If I hear one more plug about WWE Supercard, or if Michael Cole tells me to download it for free one more time, I'm going to shoot myself.
And now, WWE Supercard Season 6 and Tap Out present WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs.
TLC 2019. So, the final pay-per-view of the decade. Very much hyped up to that. And, we had, honestly, kind of a strange tone of a show. The opening match, we had the New Day versus the Revival. But before that, we had Humberto and Andrade in a pre-show match. And this pre-show match was honestly my favorite match on the card. I thought this was a great effort by both of them. Very hard-hitting and just a very good way to start the show off. And then, like I said, we had the ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The New Day defending against the Revival. I think this match kind of started off kind of slow, pacing-wise. And then it kind of picked up. We had some very creative spots, which I actually expected from the Revival. You know, they're very creative in the ring. They're very old school. And, they're out of the ordinary in the best way possible. So, you had more of a utilization of the ladder as a weapon, which is how the ladder match kind of started for WWF, where the ladder was more used as a weapon, and you could find creative ways to use it as a weapon. So that's one way this match was really good. And like I said, it kind of picked up. We had some great spots from Kofi. Overall, probably the best match on the main card. And the New Day, of course, retained in 19 minutes and 20 seconds. Next up, we had Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy in a singles match that went 13 minutes and 45 seconds. Another very hard-hitting, bloody match. Aleister Black, I'm assuming, broke his nose very early on in the match. And the two matches that featured blood on this pay-per-view did not involve a ladder or a chair or a table, which is interesting. This was another great match, and Aleister Black, I feel like, should have picked up the win here, which he did. And, I kind of maybe thought this could have been a little better in a way, but at the same time, still not a disappointing effort for either of them. And then we had the Viking Raiders versus the OC. This went 8 minutes and 30 seconds. The Viking Raiders, of course, they had set an open challenge after Bobby Roode failed his wellness policy test. So, good job, buddy. And so, yeah, the OC answered the open challenge, which I guess was kind of predictable at the time. And, it's sort of just a so-so match. It ended in a double countout, so, you can assume that this rivalry is not over. Other than that, it just kind of felt like a house show tag team match that was doing what it had to do. So, really nothing special here. Next up, we had King Corbin versus Roman Reigns in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. I was never a fan of TLC matches being able to end in pinfall or submission. At the time I grew up, TLC was something special. When I was a kid, we had Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, the Hardys. You had, my personal favorite TLC match is TLC 4 from the Monday Night Raw, the Raw Roulette show in 2002. That's my favorite TLC match. So that's what I think of when I think of TLC. The shit we had tonight is not what I think of when I think of TLC. Times have changed. This mainly felt like an Extreme Rules match, to be honest. You had kendo sticks, you had interferences, you had some utilage of tables near the end. You had the crowd chanting, "We want tables." And, this just didn't feel like a TLC match. I don't think the ladders were really used that much either. So, we had Dolph Ziggler come out, we had the Revival come out, and they basically all just teamed up on Roman. Roman got the loss here, which I give him credit for that. But obviously it was a deep 6 on a steel chair that got him. And, like, I think as Michael Cole said, 12 on 1. So, yeah. And we will get back to this. But this was just, I don't know, it felt more like an Extreme Rules street fight, honestly. There was no point in even having the TLC name on it. And, you know, just TLC just doesn't feel special anymore. That's the problem with these gimmick pay-per-views. I've always hated the gimmick pay-per-views. Hell in a Cell, TLC, always hated gimmick pay-per-views. It devalues the specialty match itself. Next we had Bray Wyatt appearing as the, I guess you want to call it Mr. Rogers gimmick, facing The Miz. And this went 6 minutes and 40 seconds. This was for the Universal Champion. No, not for the Universal Championship. Non-title match. Which is weird of itself, but whatever. I did like how he had the blue belt instead of the horrible Tom Savini belt. So it kind of, you know, differs from The Fiend and Bray Wyatt. I liked this Bray Wyatt, you know. You had the Firefly Funhouse theme music playing, which is annoying, but at the same time, that's the point. So I give him credit there. You know, I loved everything about his character and gimmick in this match. It's the match itself that was just bad. And it's neither one of their faults. It's more just this character works from a storytelling standpoint, but from a match standpoint, it just makes the matches dull. And honestly, it felt longer than 6 minutes. This felt like it was forever, to be honest. We had Bray Wyatt getting the Sister Abigail for the win. And, you know, the entire match, he was just basically enjoying the pain, laughing. Not really no-selling, but he was no-selling to a degree. Like, not to the degree of The Fiend is no-selling, but he was more enjoying the pain, which, you know, makes sense. But, you know, like I said, I didn't expect much from this match. And then afterwards, you had him get the mallet out, because the Fiend character appeared on the Tron, and Daniel Bryan came out, did the running knee, flips the hood off. He has kind of the Ring of Honor haircut, you know, with a little bit of facial hair and, you know, the shorter hair up top. And so yeah, Daniel Bryan's back here, and I don't know, it's strange seeing him with that appearance again. It honestly takes you back to like the Bryan Danielson days and the American Dragon. So overall, this match was just kind of a placeholder or a transition to continue with the Daniel Bryan angle. But, you know, like I said, I think the Bray Wyatt character really worked here. I wish they would kind of use that more instead of just having the Fiend every time. So this worked. And like I said, the match was just bad though. But what do you expect? Next up, we have Bobby Lashley versus Rusev in a tables match that went 13 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't know. This angle at times has been so bad it's funny and so bad it's good type thing. But, you know, I just don't feel like they have much chemistry in the ring. You know, I don't know whose fault that is. I don't really think it's either of them. I've never been a fan of Bobby Lashley personally. But, yeah, this just didn't feel like it worked. You know, you had Lana outside, of course, grabbing heat and really adding to the match in a way. But, I don't know. I kind of hope this just ends soon. And I really liked CM Punk's idea of having, at WrestleMania, Lana up in a shark cage. And the loser keeps her. They just both get the shits of her, and then the loser keeps her. Why not? So, yeah, kind of a dull tables match there. But yeah, we had Bobby Lashley actually botching a spear through the table, which not quite sure how you do that. And then he, of course, did kind of a over-the-head suplex to get the win. Kind of tried again. And then next up we had Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in a TLC match for the Women's Tag Team Championship. This went 26 minutes on the dot. Okay. So this, once again, almost didn't feel like a TLC match. More the latter half did. So, like, maybe, like, the last 2/3 maybe even, or 1/3, I'd say, felt like a TLC match. But the rest just kind of felt like a clusterfuck street fight. You know, they're tying Becky Lynch to the ladder. I don't know, it just came across as just campy. And like I said, as the match went on, it kind of got better. You had Asuka powerbomb Charlotte off the top rope into a table in a pretty good table spot. You had Kairi Sane chuck a chair at the ropes, and then it came back and hit her in the face. So yeah, that happened. That was the most entertaining part of the match, personally. You had just a lot of gimmicks going on here. Like, you had the rope, like a literal just rope. I don't know where it came from, just a rope. And they're just swinging it over their heads and just hitting each other with it. And then they tie the rope to the ladder and start pulling people off with it. I don't know. This match was just a mess. But, yeah, I mean... I don't know. It was just... There was a lot going on. I mean, I was scrolling through Twitter and just people were just... I know Relaxing Ghost reacted to this match, basically saying, you know, what the hell is this? And I'm in agreement. This main event was just a clusterfuck, but it had some good spots on it, so there you go. Okay, so one good thing about the main event is the Kabuki Warriors did retain, which I think was the right move for sure. I was really happy about that. But an overall letter grade for the show. I'm going to give this a C. The first few matches were great, and then it just kind of went downhill, which is kind of how it goes nowadays, it seems like. But, you know, let me know your letter grade down below. Be sure to get WWE Supercard, because that's all they did was shove that up your ass this entire pay-per-view. And I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.